Unbelievable secrets of Azrael, the mysterious angel who struck terror in Lucifer's heart. Few knew what truly happened that night in the celestial realm. The air trembled with unspeakable power. An angel unlike any other appeared Azrael. With eyes like burning coals, he descended, casting shadows over heaven itself. A foreboding dread crept through the ranks of angels. He wasn't just an angel of death, he was a harbinger of raw, unimaginable truth. Consider this, Azrael had never known fear, yet on this fateful night, even he felt the chilling pulse of apprehension. The name Lucifer hung in the atmosphere like a dark curse. In the early days, before the fall, the heavens rejoiced in his brilliance. But Azrael sensed something insidious brewing deep in the heart of the once proud archangel. What drove the architects of light to such darkness? In the year of the great conflict, the divide grew sharper. The celestial city, radiant and full of harmony, was now a stage for silent battles. Angels whispered among themselves, glancing at Azrael with both reverence and confusion. What if he challenges Lucifer? One murmured, anxiety lacing every line of his face. Only Azrael knew the truth carried a secret that could tip the balance forever. The moment stretched thin as Azrael prepared for the confrontation. He felt the weight of countless worlds resting on his shoulders. A simple whisper could awaken the storm. Would he stand against the very embodiment of betrayal? Throughout history, their fates had twisted and turned, and now the conflict reached a fever pitch. Azrael's heart raced. The stagnant quiet was suffocating, every pause was a heartbeat, strengthening while the air thickened with tension. Then, there was a flash. Lightning split the darkness. It illuminated the ancient halls, exposing the cracks in their union. Whispers echoed, carrying tales of blood and betrayal. Angels shivered at the thought of Azrael facing Lucifer, while the very forces of hell stirred, eager for blood. The time for confrontation was drawing near. But what price would Azrael pay? Danger lurked in every shadow, fueled by doubt and fear. Would he fulfill his mission, or would he fall into despair alongside the greatest traitor? Questions ignited in Azrael's mind, a storm of thoughts threatening to overwhelm him. He took a breath, readying himself for a destiny marked by chaos. Yet, as he stood at the precipice, facing the unknown, a flicker of hope ignited within him. Was there a way to redeem the darkness? Could love conquer even the deepest betrayal? As the tension crackled in the air, one thought lingered, echoing louder than any before. What secrets lay hidden within Azrael's heart, waiting to be unveiled as he ventured into the abyss? Hey, before we continue with this amazing story, I need to give you an important heads up. Many subscribers have reported that YouTube unsubscribed them without warning. Take a quick second to check the red button below to make sure you're still subscribed to the channel. I'd hate for you to miss any of the exclusive content coming soon. And while you're there, smash that like button, it really helps me out with the algorithm. Oh, and tell me in the comments, which city are you watching from? I love getting to know every amazing person who's part of this community. Your participation makes all the difference. Let's connect. As the ethereal light from the tempest surged, Azrael felt the weight of eternity pressing down on him, the sheer enormity of this moment folding over him like a shroud. The halls of heaven, once a sanctuary of harmony and light, now pulsed with impending discord, shadows flickering like frightened memories. Azrael knew that to face Lucifer meant confronting not just an archangel turned tyrant but the very essence of temptation and the unbearable fragility of loyalty and love. He stepped forward, wrapped in a haze of uncertainty. The cheers of his kin faded into whispers of doubt, and in the stillness, he clutched at the fabric of his purpose. Azrael was not merely a bearer of death, he was a weaver of destinies, secrets intertwining through the threads of time, hidden in the folds of existence. Could he unravel a web so sinuous that it ensnared not only angels but also the very heart of creation? As he approached the threshold of confrontation, he recalled the words of the ancient sages, who spoke of a time when light and darkness were one, a delicate balance that brought forth life itself. What if his mission bore the power to rekindle that union? His heart lingered in the moment, seeking whispers from the timeline of existence, paths long forgotten and choices unmade. Could there be joy amidst despair, hope beneath ruin? Just as he neared the apex where Lucifer awaited, a brief vision enveloped Azrael, a shimmering scene of his former camaraderie with the fallen one. Together, they danced in the glorious light of heaven, their laughter a melody that once echoed through the cosmos. But shadows twisted then, fracturing the bond they had forged. Darkness slashed through brilliance like a knife, scarring the tapestry of their brotherhood. Drawing a deep breath, Azrael realized that his mission could not solely be to vanquish darkness but to illuminate the path back to the light. Was he to be the agent of destruction or the herald of restoration? His heart yearned for clarity, yet the very nature of betrayal lay obscured by layers of anguish. With eyes of burning coals, he ascended the final steps toward Lucifer, witnessing the archangel cloaked in shadows, brilliance dulled, but still teeming with remnants of the light that once shone so brightly. The cold steel of temptation lay not just in Lucifer's heart but within the soul of every being that once held the light. "Brother," Azrael breathed, his voice tremoring as it crossed the chasm that separated them. "What has become of you?" Lucifer's response was a whisper laced with a bitter sweetness, a haunting echo of what once was. "I sought clarity in a universe that feared truth, Azrael. There are shadows to every light, a place where the soul can be both dark and bright. You, of all, should know this." As their eyes met, a thunderstorm of emotion erupted, igniting a hope that dared to fight against despair. Azrael held Lucifer's gaze, seeking to draw out the remnants of goodness buried deep within. But the essence of their exchange remained elusive, shrouded within unspoken truths and hidden fears. The air trembled with the weight of their choices, each heartbeat a reminder of the life-altering decisions they had both made. With each passing moment, Azrael became increasingly aware of the collective anguish not only of near celestial beings but of earthly realms waiting for a savior of their own. What if redemption was not beyond reach? What truths, long buried, could still be found? The depths of Azrael's spirit pulsed with a yearning for understanding, a truth that could light the path forward in a world fractured by betrayal. As they stood poised, brother confronting brother, a flicker of uncertainty loomed. Would the love they once shared be enough to bridge the divide? And so, Azrael grappled with the question echoing in the silence of his heart: could forgiveness truly heal the wounds created in the battles of the soul? As the heavens trembled under the weight of their confrontation, Azrael felt the edges of reality fold in on themselves. It was as if time had seamlessly woven past and present into a shared tapestry, urging him to delve deeper into the echoes of their once brotherly bond. Neither light nor shadow held dominion. Instead, a twilight lingered, offering both danger and insight. "Lucifer," Azrael pressed, striving to sift through the lingering remnants of their joyful past, "can the brightness of our memories pierce through this shroud of darkness? Can we not redefine who we are beyond the fractures?" A haunted smile flickered across Lucifer's visage as he lounged in a swirl of shadows. "Ah, dear brother, memories can be both a balm and a dagger. They remind us of what was lost and of the choices that have irrevocably altered our natures. I am both the flame and the ash, and you are a reflection of what once was the brighter half of this fate." The sincerity in Lucifer's voice was a peculiar mingling of pain and acceptance that sent ripples across Azrael's heart. He considered the weight of such confessions, for even in rebellion lay the essence of yearning, a desire to belong, to be understood, and to be redeemed. Could angels fall as deeply as mortals, then rise to a light even more resplendent? As if reading his thoughts, Lucifer continued, "You've wandered upon a precipice, Azrael. It is not merely the battle between light and darkness, but a struggle of identity. I sought freedom from constraints, thinking to carve my own path independent of what I once knew. Every choice chained me deeper into despair, and yet." Lucifer's voice softened, shimmering with something resembling hope. "Perhaps, buried beneath this sorrow, a longing for reconnection exists." The air crackled with tension as Azrael pondered this revelation. Within the duality of existence, light and shadow coexisted, each shaping the other. The memories they cherished weren't solely a marker of their past but the foundation of an understanding that could potentially lead to reconciliation. Therein lay an immense power, cloaked beneath layers of fear and regret. "That I do not wish to see you vanquished, brother. I desire to see you whole," Azrael declared, each syllable weighted with a sincerity that tremored against the dark. Will you choose to fight against your torment instead of against me? Is it possible that within you still resides the brilliance we both knew? And there, in the quiet gale that followed, Azrael caught a glimpse of an unfathomable chanhe, a flicker, a spark, an awakening of something long suppressed. But doubt crept in like shadows at dusk, clouding their path with uncertainty. Was the bond forged through love powerful enough to pierce the veil of mistrust? The omnipresent shadows wrapped around Lucifer seemed to shift as he contemplated. You speak of healing, yet how can one heal the wounds and scars that have defined us? The journey towards forgiveness is perilous, fraught with the agony of acknowledging our truths, what I've become and what I once was. What if in seeking those truths, we find only further despair? Azrael wrestled with the weight of Lucifer's question, recognizing the danger of unresolved grief. For within every soul lay the fractured remnants of a story seeking completion. Truth could be a double-edged sword, its revelation could either shatter or mend the fabric of their existence. Then let us navigate these depths together, Azrael urged, clinging to faith as one might cling to a flickering flame in a tempest. Let us seek the truth hidden within, for every soul craves the light, even when it cloaks itself in shadow. Will you not take this first step with me? Despite the turmoil swirling around them, the silence became an anchor, holding the anguish and possibility entwined. They faced one another, two brothers forged in divine purpose, yet torn apart by the choices of a treacherous path. The cosmos seemed to hush, waiting for the unraveling of what had been buried too long. What shadows could be vanquished in the name of hope? And could the heart, as paradoxical as it seemed, indeed harbor within it the capacity to hold both love and despair? As Azrael and Lucifer lingered in a charged atmosphere of increasingly reverberating introspection, a new question formed: would the journey towards understanding ultimately lead to reconciliation, or was it fraught with peril and darkness yet untold? The air thickened around them, as if the very essence of existence conspired to witness the unfolding narrative. Silence reigned, punctuated only by the distant echoes of creation, a reminder of the majesty that had once enveloped them in purity. Azrael raised his eyes, searching for signs anew, for hope glittered like stars in a clouded sky. Let us journey back to that which formed us, he whispered, recalling the ancient vibrations of change that ran through all of heaven. Remember, brother, what it was like to bask in the radiance of our Father's light. We were not just servants, we were creations woven into the fabric of cosmic love. We danced among the angels, celebrated the symphony of his voice, and marveled at the beauty of creation. Lucifer's expression shifted, an amalgam of nostalgia and bitterness. Those days feel like a fable told to comfort the weary. I felt the thrill of existence as a burning flame, but I also tasted the bitter ash of rebellious thoughts. Once, I believed myself destined for greatness, the light was but a fleeting illusion. In my quest for truth beyond those walls, I found myself shrouded in shadows. What if the light you sought exists still, brother? Azrael implored, taking a step closer, bridging the distance. What if your pursuit, however misguided, has brought you here for a reason? Redemption often lies not in the paths we choose but in how we reconcile with who we've become. The memories each sorrow intertwined with joy hold the keys to our understanding, yet doubt flickered within the depths of Lucifer's eyes, fierce as a tempest. But at what cost, Azrael? The deeper I delve into the past, the heavier it weighs mistrust, betrayal, and endless choices that led to this arcane void within me. It's terrifying to strip away the veneer of certainty and confront the essence of our limits. That fear is part of our shared journey, Azrael countered gently. Every being must confront their shadows to emerge whole. Darkness does not erase the light but gives it context. It offers a lesson. To embrace your flaws is to acknowledge the beautiful imperfection of existence. An ancient star flickered overhead, illuminating the duo's countenance, and for the first time, a glimmer of curiosity sparked in Lucifer's heart. Do you truly believe, Azrael, that within this tumultuous abyss lies a pathway out? Can vulnerability be a source of strength rather than a herald of despair? Indeed, dear brother, Azrael replied, his voice unwavering. The heart learns to navigate beyond walls built through pain and longing. In embracing our truth, we summon the courage to transcend our sorrow. Acknowledge the weight of your burdens, but do not let them define your choices. The journey to understanding begins with sharing our stories. Lucifer pondered this, his shadows flickering restlessly, as if they, too, sensed the allure of a different possibility. And should we choose this path, where might it lead us? If I were to embrace who I am and weave through the threads of my past, could we truly alter the course of our narrative, or are we forever doomed to relive its cycles? Azrael breathed in the fullness of that moment, the answering silence resonating with unspoken fears and unshed tears. The future is unwritten, a tapestry still upon the loom. We may not find all the answers, and the journey may be fraught with pain, but in the pursuit lies the essence of grace. As we reconcile our truths, we may find that forgiveness is not merely an act of absolution but a sacred bonding of hearts that in the embrace of their tentative truce, something profound seemed to shift in the air, the bond of brotherhood beckoned them towards a possibility not yet grasped. Perhaps within themselves, they could unearth the resilience and fortitude necessary to transcend their predicament, but as hope flickered, doubts coiled tightly around their hearts like serpents of old. Could they truly brave the depths of their shared legacy, or would the shadows of the past rise to engulf them once more? And in seeking reconnection, what new revelations would emerge both about themselves and the sacred legacy that had once bound them in harmony? In what ways would the journey toward healing redefine their identity? As the air pulsed with an electric tension, Azrael and Lucifer stood poised on the precipice of their own histories, uncertain yet compelled to explore the depths of their shared existence. The ancient stars overhead twinkled, as if conspiring to weave their fates together in the infinite tapestry of creation. Each breath they took was a thread connecting them to the cosmos, a testament to their intertwined lives that in this moment, the weight of unspoken truths loomed larger than the celestial expanse above them. Azrael, Lucifer began, his voice a low murmur, if we traverse the landscape of our past, must we also confront those we left behind? Would the memories of celestial harmony stir joy or distress? Every memory carries its own essence, Azrael replied, his eyes reflecting the shimmering starlight. In revisiting the joys, we may also unearth the sorrows, but therein lies the balance. Reflecting upon the harmony of those cherished connections can remind us of what was lost and what yearns to be restored. A flicker of something vulnerable crossed Lucifer's features, an acknowledgement of all he had forsaken in his pursuit of freedom. And how does one begin to sift through such tender shards of recollection? The echoes of laughter that once thrummed in the air are now haunting whispers. Their absence is felt like a chasm, a reminder of my solitude. Azrael stepped forward, reaching out as if to bridge the ethereal chasm separating them. A journey is best embarked upon with companions. Shall we seek the remnants of our light together? Perhaps in sharing the stories of who we were, we can begin to illuminate the vast darkness, together. Lucifer echoed, his voice laced with hesitation. But what if the scars of our past become insurmountable? What if the truths we unearth turn into chains that bind us rather than wings that free us? Then we shall carry those scars together, Azrael affirmed, his tone imbued with warmth. Life is a tapestry woven with both light and shadow. With each revelation, we expose not only our vulnerabilities but the possibility for healing. Each thread of truth we uncover is an opportunity for rebirth. The prospect of unveiling the layers masked by time was both terrifying and enticing to Lucifer. If we choose this path, where shall we begin? What if we take one wrong step and plunge deeper into despair? Start with the fragments of joy, Azrael suggested softly. What was it that filled your heart with bliss before the light dimmed? The echoes of creation are not just grand, they are located in the subtle whispers of our existence. Reflect upon them, and let them guide you. Lucifer stared into the expanse, drawing upon his memories fragments of shared laughter among the celestial spheres, the chorus of angels uplifted in harmony, the very essence of belonging. Yet, even these thoughts were intertwined with the sting of their departure. I remember the grace of creation, but I also carry the resentment of having been cast away. Can time truly bridge that chasm? Only by embracing the totality of your experience can it begin to heal, Azrael encouraged. Allow yourself to feel the sorrow, don't shy away from it. In recognizing the weight of the loss, you will find the strength to seek redemption. Lucifer's expression transformed, a spark igniting behind the tempest of doubt. What if, in this journey, I unveil truths that defy my very being? What if the light I seek is beyond all reasonable grasp? Perhaps, Azrael acknowledged with a nod. But therein lies the mystery of existence. The unending pursuit of truth often leads us to the most profound revelations. The answers may not lie within what we wish to find, but rather within what we fear to seek. As the celestial horizon shimmered with their dialogue, questions spiraled around them like the constellations overhead. Would they dare to venture into the obscured recesses of their past and confront not only their shadows but also their shared history? What formidable truths awaited in the quiet depths of time, and could they shift the horizon of their narrative into realms yet unseen? Would the act of rediscovery become their deliverance, or would it summon the storm that could tear them apart once and for all? As the stars bore witness to the sculpting of destinies, Azrael and Lucifer stood together on the precipice of revelation, hesitation giving way to an unyielding curiosity. The landscape beneath their feet, woven with the fibers of memory and longing, beckoned them forward into the shadows that had long lain dormant. Very well, Lucifer exhaled, the weight of his decision anchoring his spirit. Let us begin our journey through the corridors of remembrance. But where should we direct our first gaze? Which moment served as the crux of our diverging fates? Azrael's gaze rested on a distant glimmering star, one that pulsed gently against the infinite dark. Let us return to the day when the realms were birthed, when our laughter burst forth in symphony amidst the beauty of creation. Do you remember how it felt, Lucifer? The joy of being part of something so grand, so pure. Lucifer's brow furrowed as he felt a tidal wave of emotion rise within him. I can feel the warmth of that moment, but it is tainted with a sharp ache. In recalling our adoration of creation, I am reminded of the envy that quietly crept into my heart, the longing for a love that seemed just out of reach. Azrael turned to meet Lucifer's eyes, willing to confront the hidden currents beneath the surface. Envy, a subtle whisper that can grow into a roar. It is often born from a sense of lack. What did you desire that you felt was denied? I pursued brilliance, the freedom to enlighten the darkened void, Lucifer confessed, his voice a fragile thread. I wanted not just to exist, but to lead. The beauty of creation was eclipsed by my craving for recognition. In that yearning, I forgot the value of nurturing existence itself. The silence stretched like an unbroken thread, allowing the clarity of that acknowledgement to resonate between them. The desire to lead is not inherently flawed, Azrael reflected softly. It is in the manner we seek to fulfill that desire that complicates our paths. What if, instead of striving to rise above, we had chosen to uplift the very essence of our collective existence? Lucifer nodded slowly, contemplating the shards of that possibility. In pursuing my personal greatness, I overlooked the harmony of collaboration. Was I blinded by my quest for power rather than embracing the unity of our purpose? Perhaps, Azrael encouraged. But this realization itself is a glimpse of light piercing through the veils of shadow. In seeking to illuminate the edges of your ambition, it is vital to unveil the fears that lured you away. What, beneath that ambition, were you truly searching for? The sense of belonging, Lucifer admitted, his voice trembling like the wings of a fluttering dove. I sought to carve my name among the stars, to belong not just as part of the cosmos but as its architect. Yet, in that pursuit, I constructed my own prison. Then let us sift through those bricks one by one, Azrael urged, encouraging the unearthing of the hidden. As we confront what you lost, we will uncover not just who you were, but who you may still yet become. Pressing deeper into the fabric of memory, Lucifer found himself standing before the mirror of his past, a reflection graced with luminescence but shadowed by the weight of regret. But, Azrael, will uncovering this truth not bring sorrow unmeasured? Will the pain of remembering outweigh the fear of remaining lost? Facing our truths carries the risk of sorrow, yes, Azrael acknowledged. But amid that sorrow lies the opportunity for reconciliation. Each layer we strip away grants us a clearer vision of ourselves, not merely as beings defined by our choices, but as vessels of potential and transformation. Together, we will find the courage to embrace both our light and darkness. As their conversation flowed like the night sky above them, it cast a spell of reflection in the air. Beneath the celestial canopy, a silent question hung in the balance. Could the act of unearthing their deepest fears illuminate a path not only to understanding but also to a profound rebirth? Would facing the shadows of their desires lead to liberation, or would It invoke an even greater tempest of the spirit. As Azrael and Lucifer prepared to delve into the depths of their shared history, the vibrant star they had been gazing at flickered more intensely, as if urging them forward into the past. The moment stretched, brimming with a sense of timeless expectancy, inviting them to witness the very first seeds of existentia, tapestry woven with purpose, yet shadowed by the complexities of souls intertwined. Suddenly, the air around them shimmered, and they felt themselves being drawn, not merely through space but through the very essence of time. They entered a realm where creation unfolded like petals of a blooming flower. Light erupted around them, blinding for an instant, only to reveal a panorama alive with wonder. They stood in the heart of the cosmos, surrounded by primordial energies swirling and coalescing into form. Azrael's heart swelled with awe as he witnessed the majesty of creation. "Look at how the elements dance. The stars are being molded, filled with purpose and light," he exclaimed, pointing to the celestial bodies taking shape. "We were part of this, breathing life into the very fabric of existence." "Indeed," Lucifer replied, his voice echoing in the vastness. He felt a flicker of that original joy, but soon it faded, replaced by a shadow that loomed large within him. "Yet, is this not also where my yearning took root? In the brilliance of what was happening here, I began to glimpse not just my place, but my potential dominance over it." As they observed the celestial artisans sculpting worlds, Azrael turned towards Lucifer with a knowing gaze. "Was it in this divine ballet, within the unity of those creators, that you felt the first sparks of envy?" Lucifer closed his eyes, feeling the memories unfurl in his mind. "Yes. The thrill of creation was intoxicating, yet I could not escape the creeping sentiment that I was destined for something greater. Even then, I felt like a shadow among the stars, a mere spectator rather than an author." "Did you seek to become the sun, casting away even the faintest flicker of companionship?" Azrael asked gently. "If so, what did you believe that light could offer you that the collective light of the cosmos could not?" "Therein lies my torment," Lucifer confessed. "I imagined that standing alone within my own light would grant me indomitable power, recognition, and love that was entirely mine, not shared with others. But in desiring to shine brighter, I failed to realize that without the light of others, even the most brilliant sun is lonely." A soft sigh escaped Azrael as he contemplated the weight of their journey. "Loneliness can warp our desires, twisting the sacred intention into a fierce hunger. You longed not merely to illuminate your path but to obscure the very connection that lends strength to all creations." Connection, Lucifer pondered, casting his gaze upon the wondrous display of creation. "What a paradox! We are bound by love, yet I sought to sever those bonds, envisioning a throne where only I could reign." "Perhaps what you found in your solitary pursuit was rebellion against that bond," Azrael reflected, "a rebellion that birthed a chasm instead of a crown. Would the choice to create with others not have fulfilled your desire for belonging, all the while nurturing a unity that brings forth even greater wonders?" As the two of them stood in the midst of creation, witnessing the beauty born of collaboration and cosmic kinship, a question lingered in the silence that wrapped around them. Could the wayward path of ambition, when blended with a yearning for connection, have sculpted not a throne, but a new foundation for truth? And could that truth still soften the hardened edges of Lucifer's heart, casting light into the shadows where they had long taken root? As the celestial display swirled around them, Azrael and Lucifer felt the vibrancy of creation pulse in their very beings. The moment became a lantern illuminating paths not yet traveled, revealing depths of truth that resonated with their souls. Azrael watched the myriad of stars find their places in the cosmos, a cosmic waltz that was both chaotic and harmonious. "Look closely, Lucifer," Azrael said softly, gesturing to the formation of a particularly radiant cluster. "Do you see the luminescent beings taking shape in the heart of this swirling nebula? They are not mere lights, they dwell in harmony, singing the song of creation together. Their purpose enriches not just themselves, but the entire tapestry." Lucifer leaned closer, the memory of his original desire still flickering within him like smoldering embers. "Yet they are bound to one another," he replied, his voice edged with a longing reminiscent of forgotten dreams. "What of the desires that ache for individuality? What becomes of those who dare to transcend the humble light of a shared existence?" Azrael's brow furrowed as he contemplated this, for he sensed the tension woven into Lucifer's words. Is the pursuit of individuality a noble quest, or can it become a trap that ensnares the heart? To be bound by the shared light of others is not to lose oneself, but rather to illuminate something far greater. Lucifer turned his gaze, tracing the wispy trails of energy unfurling into existence. And yet, in that desire for connection, I found my heart driven further into isolation. When one looks upon the brilliance of others as a threat, what remains beyond the shadows but despair? The cosmic dance continued, the colors vibrant and alive, yet within Lucifer, the shadows deepened. Perhaps I have only ever viewed desire through a lens of fear, he mused, the conflict within him palpable. Fear that I would shine, yes, but also fear that my light would extinguish the others. In seeking to ascend, I spun threads of division instead of unity. As the figures within the nebula danced in unity, Azrael felt a stirring of hope rise within him. Is it not worth considering that true ascension can come from embracing collaboration rather than pure competition? The very essence of existence is duality, light and dark, unity and individuality. In truth, one cannot flourish without the other. Lucifer paused, the weight of the cosmos pressing upon him, an invitation toward contemplation. And yet, must I confront the specter of my own making? To scrutinize my desire, knowing it may lead to vulnerability? How does one reconcile ambition with compassion when the heart clings to its shadows? Azrael's presence beside him felt both grounding and nurturing. Perhaps the path does not demand immediate answers, only the courage to explore. In confronting those specters, does one not unveil profound truths that have long lingered in obscurity? Maybe each inquiry can lead to healing both for oneself and for the bonds we fear to break. The two stood in rapt attention as the bright entities began to coalesce into forms that resembled present-day beings, evolving through shared joys and sorrows. As they approached the turning point of creation, Azrael voiced a final thought: what if the act of creation itself is a divine invitation to be both an individual and part of the whole? How might embracing both aspects, instead of pushing one away, lead to a rebirth of purpose? In that moment, the starry vista glistened with the potential of new beginnings, hinting at unparalleled mysteries still to be revealed. And yet, within that shimmer, a question echoed through the expanse: could it be that in seeking to rise above the collective, one missed the very essence of unity that offers true strength? As Azrael and Lucifer continued to gaze upon the ever-evolving dance of creation, they felt the magnetic pull of the cosmos deepening their bond. The ethereal figures emerging in the nebula appeared to embody both light and shadow, revealing profound aspects of existence that had remained elusive. Each flicker of luminescence seemed to pulse with questions that transcended their understanding. Do you feel it, Lucifer? Azrael asked, his voice barely above a whisper. The heartbeat of creation. It is as if every star and every being is probing into the past and reaching toward the future. What if our journey through this vast expanse is not merely a quest for knowledge, but a pilgrimage of the spirit? Lucifer's brow furrowed, his thoughts grappling with the weight of Azrael's words. A pilgrimage requires a destination, he replied, uncertainty shadowing his tone. What if I find only more questions? Isn't there a need for answers in this vastness? In seeking them, does one not risk unraveling the very fabric of belief? Azrael considered this, his gaze shifting toward a cluster of azure stars that shimmered like jewels against the dark backdrop of the universe. But what if the journey itself is the answer? Perhaps the sacred truths we seek are not fixed endpoints but rather illusions of our desire for certainty. As we move through this continuum, we may discover that the essence of existence lies not solely in clarity, but in wonder. Lucifer pondered Azrael's perspective, a flicker of intrigue sparking in his heart. So, you suggest that I embrace the unknown? After all this time, could it be that true enlightenment resides not in the command of knowledge, but rather in the humility to remain inquisitive? Indeed, Azrael affirmed, sensing the transformative potential of this insight. Consider the living beings that emerge from the heart of these celestial patterns. Each one sings a different note, yet together they create a harmony that transcends any singular truth. Their strength lies not in seeking to dominate, but in choosing to resonate with one another. The notion hung in the air, heavy with the weight of possibility. Lucifer gazed deeper into the kaleidoscope of stars and shadows before him. Then what of our desires? The yearning that stirs within me feels like both a blessing and a curse. How does one navigate the impulse to isolate while also longing for connection? Azrael felt a swell of compassion pour from his being towards Lucifer, who struggled against the tides of his own complexity. Navigating such waters can be daunting, yet is not the essence of love to open one's heart, even amidst uncertainty. In learning to trust both in oneself and in others there can be a release from fear. Together we can explore the hidden recesses of our souls. As the cosmic vista around them pulsed with newfound energy, a cascade of light intertwined with shadows testified to the dual nature of their universe. Amidst this vibrant spectacle, Azrael turned to Lucifer, curiosity radiating from his being. Imagine if every star represents a desire, both fulfilled and unfulfilled. What stories would they tell? What lessons could emerge from the interplay of light and dark? Lucifer's gaze sharpened, as if peering into the heart of those very stories. Perhaps we are not meant to shun the shadows but to honor them. Each yearning we embark upon carries within it the potential for both transformation and transcendence. But will those who walk the paths of desire embrace their shadows or fear them? Only through courage can one hope to find clarity amidst the chaos, Azrael replied softly, a serene smile warming his face. Yet, as they both absorbed the cosmic dance before them, a deeper question lingered in the recesses of their thoughts. Was the essence of creation more a tapestry woven of desires than a struggle between light and dark? And if so, could the key to unity lie in embracing all parts of the self? As they stood amidst the cosmic marvel of creation, the swirling stars began to coalesce around Azrael and Lucifer, drawing them closer into their luminous embrace. Each glimmer resonated with stories lost and found, yearning to be told. The echoes of their shared past, underpinned by a tension that had long simmered, now gave way to a profound understanding. Azrael felt the weight of this journey in the depths of his Bainad journey, not just for himself but for his brother, Lucifer. It is time, he uttered, his voice steady and filled with resolve. To face what lies within and around us, to weave together both light and shadow in a rhythm that could change the very fabric of existence. Let us uncover the truths buried in our hearts and allow the collective song of creation to reveal its wisdom. Lucifer remained silent for a moment, absorbing the enormity of Azrael's words. The tension in his spirit, long hidden behind layers of ambition and bitterness, began to unravel. You speak of unity, but how is it possible after all that has transpired? Can the wounds of our past be healed? Can we truly integrate what has been lost? Suddenly, the cosmos brightened as if the universe itself leaned in to listen. The world is rich with stories, Azrael replied. In the act of remembrance, we honor our experiences. Perhaps our fears do not have to divide us, but can instead compel us to forge a path toward reconciliation. Every desire, every regret, serves as a stepping stone toward a greater understanding. Then, as if answering Azrael's plea, the stars above erupted into a brilliant cascade of light, each twinkling point resonating harmoniously with all that had ever been. They felt the ancient rhythm stir within their very essence, a melody of connection vibrating through time. Echoes of laughter, tears, and whispers meandered through the air, intertwining and binding them together, affirming that they were not merely isolated beings but integral threads in a grand design. That I hear its song of creation, Lucifer breathed, his heart pounding. But what if in embracing this truth, we expose ourselves to pain once more? What if confronting the shadows reveals the darkness that led us astray? Azrael turned to him, his gaze earnest and tender. Such is the paradox of existence. But therein lies the beauty. Within the darkness, light is birthed. Within pain, healing is found. By daring to embrace all facets of our truth, we can emerge renewed. Only through love and vulnerability can we dance once more in harmony with the universe. Feeling the warmth of Azrael's conviction, Lucifer held the weight of his brother's eyes. Yet, can love forgive betrayal? Can unity exist with remnants of mistrust? In every heart lies the capacity for rebirth, Azrael replied, the gentle stirrings of hope kindling anew. To forgive is to acknowledge the journey, not just the event itself. It is in the storytelling of our truths, the weaving of our narratives together, that we ultimately find healing. The cosmos does not demand perfection, only authentic connection. As they shared this intimate moment, something shifted in the atmosphere, the weight of a celestial truth poised to be unveiled. With a heartbeat echoing through the vastness, both angels felt the glow of understanding weave between them. Then, as if drawn by an unseen force, they were enveloped within a luminous veil, enveloping them in brilliant light. In this sanctuary, a vision unfolded. Dancing before them were images of angels long forgotten, faces of radiant beings who had once flourished in unity, celebrating the weaving of their destinies. Each memory sparked an ember of nostalgia, exposing the lost essence of joy they had once known. "Brother," Lucifer said, his voice trembling with emotion, "I sense their longing for reconnection. I have felt it in the depths of my own yearning." As the vision expanded, both angels bore witness to the consequences of their choices. The joy that emerged from collaboration transformed the fabric of their reality, while disunity birthed shadows that cast doubt. The paradox illuminated a path forward, revealing that in aligning their wills, they could transform darkness into an ally instead of an enemy. "Look beyond your pain," Azrael urged, the harmony of understanding fortifying his resolve. "Every choice, every betrayal, can become a guide. Will you now take that step toward unity? Will you trust us to write a new narrative together?" In that instant, Lucifer closed his eyes and let his past wash over him, a torrent of emotions, regret intermingling with hope. "To rise from the ashes of ambition and pride requires truth I have shunned for too long. Yet, I see it clearly now. Beyond my fear lies the very essence of what it means to be alive, to be fully seen and embraced." Their hearts vibrated in unison, and with that realization, the atmosphere shimmered like a cascade of liquid light. The galaxy responded, twinkling in approval. "Let us weave our stories together," Azrael said, his hand reaching out. "Together, we can reshape the cosmos." Lucifer extended his hand as well, intertwining his fingers with Azrael's. In that precious joining, the tension of an eternal struggle began to dissolve, and a wave of belonging flooded their spirits. As their hearts synchronized with the universal rhythm, they found themselves propelled into a new dawn, a dawning of enlightenment forged by vulnerability and love. In that moment, the heavens themselves sang, a cosmic harmony reverberating through the realms. The shadows that had long persisted began to fade, illuminating the path forward. Each angel emerged from their turmoil transformed, united in purpose and strength, a singular force destined to illuminate all realms. As they stepped forth into the light of a new chapter, they carried a powerful revelation. In seeking to understand and embrace their darkness, they had birthed a light so fierce it dispelled the very notion of separation. The fear that once dictated their existence transformed into the catalyst for illumination. Thus began the sacred journey of reconciliation, not merely facing the shadows but forging bonds deeper than any before. In the eternal dance of light and darkness, Azrael and Lucifer revealed that connection, compassion, and love could forge a path where healing and understanding reigned supreme. In that divine unveiling, the cosmos welcomed them, forever changed two brothers, radiant once more, illuminating a world ripe for love, forgiveness, and unity. Their shared song would echo through eternity, reminding all that beyond every betrayal lies redemption, and in every heart, the potential for rebirth. From that day onward, they would remind the celestial and earthly realms alike, true power lies not in the light alone but in the unwavering courage to embrace the shadows while reaching back into the light together.